This episode. This episode. This is why I watch shows like this. It is creative and it is awesome. There's a fair share of complaints about this episode as well, as others have said, but I liked it for a whole different reason entirely. The very concept of which almost made me legitimately fanboy. Almost. The story is about the main 6 characters watching and interacting with another story in front of their eyes based off of another side story in the main story. And that main story also including Daring Do interacting with her own villain. That's 5 levels of story going on at the same time. 5! Well, I found it interesting. My hat goes off to you, writers of MLP. I'd take it off if I could, but, you know. There wasn't too much that caught my eye this time around, though, like the armor or the plant, but this episode did bring to mind several other ideas that we shall get into later. First, the Perry Potter references. Yes, the series of books in AK Yearling, haha. Although I'll bet J.K. Rowling has already written that many books and more. You know, with the whole pen name and, just look it up. Which would make Camelot the veritable Hogwarts of the MLP universe. But regarding the book series and the author, this is where the first problem comes up, but I think the idea of Daring Do as a character was kind of abused. Not that it isn't a genius business idea. I mean, seriously, you do the things you love to do, which is, in this case, adventuring. So why not cash in on this kind of thing? She's writing a book about her own life and selling it for, well, I'm assuming lots of money, if Twilight's collection is any proof of any avid fan. So yeah, more power to you, Miss Daring Do. But she's seen more mythical as a fictional character whose adventures could not be rivaled. A paragon of the adventurer's spirit. The Nathan Drake more than the Indiana Jones of the MLP universe. But the fact that the events of the novels were actually, well, in this case, real, only furthers the magical nature of the show and indeed makes the daily life of the ponies seem that much more awesome. Yes, I know, kids show. But if you're watching a fight like this, especially if this is your hero, or in this case, Miss Dash's and possibly Miss Twilight's hero, wouldn't you want to, help your hero? It's 6 on 4, and 2 of you can do magic. By the way, a pretty fast healing leg there. I do find it interesting that the ending puzzle was so simple though. Stacking rings. My, how far our toys have come. And the tribal ponies? Like, really? How many groups of villages are there in Equestria? Like, are there more villages like Sakura's? Is she a solitary kind of thing? Or is this one tribe devoted to Aoizotl? Are there more temples like this one with more gods and, well, more tribes to each one? This could mean a living pantheon in Equestria aside from Celestia and Luna, and now Twilight. I mean, we already have Cerberus and the Hydra, right? The possibilities, man. Just think, your wish might just come true after all, because the god could be right next door. I really don't have a segue here, but I would like to at least briefly mention the other meanings that this episode brought to mind. First, Lord of the Rings in pony form. Daring Do is Frodo, Rainbow Dash is Sam, and the rest of the main 6 are the Fellowship. Twilight's obviously Gandalf, and Rarity would be Legolas. Because they're both so radiant, aren't they, darling? Don't know who Pinkie Pie would be, though. She's too crazy to be Gollum or Smeagol, and that is a scary thought. Ugh. Second, anyone get a vibe of conventions from this particular scene? We all had that time, right? It's our first convention, pony or otherwise, and saw our first impromptu skit or intense debate between fans. It left us shocked and yet hungry to know more. At least this one wasn't about which character is better or why X series is better than Y, yeah? And lastly, a life lesson from Miss Do. If you'll excuse me, I have a book to finish. Your adventures come at a price, but when they come, make them count and make them grand. Truly wise words, Miss Do. Truly wise words. That wasn't quite a review at all. That was very much random. Oh well, thank you for your time though, and I look forward to seeing you later. Bye!